Now, guys, we're looking at the effect, the incredible effect that locking a triangle can have with regards to your success rate with American locks. The American lock, just in and of itself, is a devastating weapon. When you lock your opponent's head in a triangle, you prevent your opponent from going into the standard kinds of defenses. Most of your opponents know very well that if the head moves away from the arm, that's where they're most likely to be broken. So experienced opponents will always turn, like an arm wrestler will turn with the endangered arm to defend himself. When you lock that triangle first, the head can't move. It's so much easier to lock your American locks. One of the best forms of triangle is the front triangle, and a derivation of front triangles, which we call ankle Sankaku. Let's look first at just a classic front triangle and how we might use the American lock to finish an opponent. I will say one of the most devastating arm breaks I've seen in competition came courtesy of Gordon Ryan using an ankle Sankaku with an American lock to absolutely destroy an opponent's arm in competition. It's a devastating move when done well. So we have a training partner on 2 knees in front of us. And from these standard situations, using any standard method of hitting into a triangle, we throw our legs up and we go right away into the classic front triangle. From the front triangle, many of our opponents defend themselves with their arm locked up like so. They go to grab the knee and bring the knee to the floor. These are all standard forms of defense. Whenever we see this, we peel our training partner's hand and we cover our training partner's knuckles. We want the end of the lever. Don't grab down here. There's no leverage there. We always want to control the end of the lever up here. So we want to cover our training partner's knuckles and go hand over hand. This creates a radical American lock, which puts breaking pressure on your opponent very, very quickly. The only defense to this is for your opponent to straighten his arm, but that just puts him in an even worse situation. We can go into arm locks or the original stranglehold and finish him with the strangle. So your opponent's caught in a dilemma. The straighter his arm, the easier for Jujigatami and strangles. The more he bends the arm, the easier it becomes for us to peel, and then from here, attack with the American lock. And this forms a devastating combination. A variation of this, which we often make use of, is ankle Sankaku. The place we most often use it is out of armbar situations. From here, we take our training partner's arm, Jujigatami, and we feed our foot through to a 3/4 Juji. Now we sit down towards the mat and we catch our training partner by the leg, so that when he goes to get up, he can only get up to 45 degrees and no more. Then from here, we feed our leg behind his head. We push his head forward with our knee and we lock up a triangle where the ankle is right on our training partner's neck. Then from here, we let the man up. As he gets up to his knees, he finds himself in this devastating position. Even if his head comes up into a good position, he finds himself in a devastating American lock. And this is where Gordon Ryan finished his opponent. It didn't start with an arm lock, it started with a back take, but it was the ankle Sankaku finishing position. The key idea, let's come back. The key idea is that your ankle will be here on your training partner's neck. Normally, in a regular triangle, the knee is on the neck. In ankle Sankaku, the ankle is on the neck. The second leg comes in behind, and the lock of the triangle is behind your opponent's head. So it puts so much pressure right over the back of the head. Very unusual. And then from here, as he tries to pull away from us, we get a hold of the end of the lever, and the American lock from here is absolutely devastating. The bend in the arm, the fact that he can't move the head, just creates incredibly tight locks. So once again, training partners in front of us, and we use any standard method of going into Sankaku to triangle, and we catch our training partner like so. Whenever we see a bent arm, we always push the elbow across and we seize the end of the lever. We're always looking for the pinky knuckle and we put it right there in our hand. That's the end of the lever right there. With his elbow, in this case it's his right elbow, we put his right elbow as close to the right hip as possible. The further the elbow from the right hip, the more inclined we are to just hit a regular stranglehold from this position. But what most of our opponents try and do is bring the elbow across the hip so they can start bringing this knee to the floor and try and defend themselves. That's exactly what we're looking for. We find the end of the lever, double up on it, and then from here, the American lock is absolutely devastating. If for whatever reason, the Sankaku we're using is the ankle Sankaku, locked in like so, it's even more so. Now the hand is in the perfect position. We push away with our hips, and the breaking power here is truly frightening. The only way he can defend himself is to try and straighten out the arm, but that just leads right back into the original strangle with the legs. So you catch your opponent in a terrifying dilemma, where the head is completely immobilized, and you play between the thread of the American lock. If the arm stays bent, the arm breaks. So the only thing he can do is try and defend the arm by straightening it, but that just leads into other forms of armbar, judogatame, or the original strangle. You play that trilemma against your opponent, and it's so hard for him to get away. The arm breaks I've seen in this position were among the most devastating in the last decade in jiu-jitsu. Use it. It's a powerful, powerful weapon for you.